Hello, we are coming in for Thursday. Hello, just coming on to do my little update video. So it's going to be my little diary. So hello again to everyone in the comments. Group was so good. Group was so good this week. The people in it. My poor consultant's not very well, bless her. But we had a standing consultant, and I'm so glad that the group is running. And I'm going to explain why. Okay, so you saw all my fantastic shopping, my brilliant meals, everything that was going well. And I've been really honest. I'm going to share everything that doesn't go well, because my journey might relate to some of you as it has. And I want to be able to look back and see when I'm going through any more experiences with my weight loss. I want to see how I dealt with it. I want to see what I did, what I felt, what I said, just to make sure that I can keep moving forward all the time. So initially, I did not want to go to group. I ummed and ahed about it for about 3 days, and I'll be blatantly honest with you why. I failed to recognise a problem last week that I should have picked up on. Now, this problem was emotional. This problem was that £0.5 pound on. I was relieved last week. I was utterly positive. I'd got all my shopping. I was like, nah, do you know what? I can deal with this. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. It got worse this week. So I do apologise in advance. I don't script this. I'm just talking. I'm just talking about how the week's been. It did get worse because I failed to recognise the fact that last week was the beginning of a little spiral down into some binge eating. I laugh because I'm annoyed, but I'm also laughing because I know there will be people out there who can identify with this. So I know how to lose weight. I know what a fantastic plan food optimizing is and slimming well. I know that I need never go hungry. I know that all my nutrition and the fun bits of, eating little bits of this and that you fancy, that's all taken care of with Slimming World. I don't need to worry about that. And you could see that in my grocery shop, in the meals that I've been having. Oh, perfect. Lovely. Food optimizing, food optimizing 101, not a problem. But without recognising that I was starting to actually binge eat, not just have an extra peanut butter sandwich, but actually starting to eat excessively for no reason at all other than my emotions, sent me down a bit of a slippery slope. Now, I started having brilliant food optimizing days. My days right up until like 11 o'clock at night. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Fantastic. And I'm not going to go into a huge list of what I eat when I binge, because it's not the point. The point is that I'm not eating in a healthy way. This is a disordered way of eating that I seem to have developed, I don't know, more in my sort of 30s and 40s than ever when I was younger. And it's tied into my emotional state, my mental state. I failed to pick up that the beginning of that last week was because I was not dealing with some emotions that I was having. What they are is neither here nor there. I know what they are. So that's important. I've dealt with what they are, and I've recognised that what they are is continuing on this week. These things aren't going to be quickly resolved now. And the thing is, this is going to be a really honest journey for anyone that follows it all the way through, as it were. It's going to be a really honest journey, because the fact of the matter is, life isn't going to stop happening. Life isn't going to stop having challenges. Wish it did. Really wish it did. But that's not life. So I rocked on up to group. My lovely consultant had told us beforehand, there's going to be someone different there running the group, and especially for myself, because this was someone I'd never met before, and I do have PTSD and some mental health problems alongside the physical problems as well, and I think that was just so considerate of her to let us all know that she was poorly, bless her. She arranged for someone else to come and run the group, and this was a man. Now, he ran the group great, but what really helped me was the fact that I went. I knew I was going to have a gain. There was no doubt about it. It was physically impossible to not have a gain. I know me, and I know eating wise what's going to cause that gain. So as I say, I didn't want to go, but I did. I got there, and I kind of thought, well, at least get it over with. The gain was £1.50. Attach whatever value to that you want. It was £1.50. It is what it is. It's just a numerical value. It has no emotional value of the amount. Okay. It was then very tempting to just go, it's not my normal consultant. There's not as many people staying to group tonight. I'm a bit ashamed because I'm so early on in my journey. I'm a bit ashamed of that. I want to go home. Those were the overriding feelings and emotions. And I think that's really normal. That's just so normal for us. We're human. We have these range of things where it's easy to run and hide, be a bit of a head in the sand moment. Oh, hello. But I didn't. I stayed to group, and I'll just show you. Got this one behind me. This one's doing window patrol. Is hello. Oh dear, they keep me going, don't they? So yeah, I didn't. I stayed to group. I sat down. And I'm really glad that I did. As you always are. Oh, this is the thing, isn't it? If you've been a Slimming Well member for any length of time, you know that staying to group is always the answer. It is always the answer. If you've gained, if you've maintained, if you've lost a fantastic amount of weight, if you've got an award, if you haven't got an award, if you've had a terrible week, a brilliant week, it doesn't matter. The answer is always stay to group. So I did. I sat myself down. Whilst I was sitting waiting for everyone else to finish getting weighed in and the consultant to get set up, I was flicking through my Discover the Freedom book. This is in every new member's pack, so if you haven't thoroughly read this one, then definitely do. Now, I've got my lovely half stone on, pleased to say, still got my half stone weight loss, so that's fantastic. But I went through there's a little planner bit. I don't know if you can see okay. That's your first 6 weeks, and it starts here. So the idea is that as a new member, you fill that in, and you have this great tool at your disposal in your first 6 weeks to really get into those habits. Now, I'm a little bit cocky when I first went back, and always. I know food optimizing. I did my food diaries because I knew they would help me keep track, but I didn't really go into this. I knew it was in there. But I sat there last night in group whilst the consultant was getting finished off, and I thought, no, I need to grasp this. I know what's happened, but I need to delve into this a little bit more. Now, for me, it says on here, you've got your aim is to lose. For me, I've set myself an aim of £3. I want to lose the 2 that I put on over the past 2 weeks, and I want to move forward again. So that would be amazing. It's got your daily sin allowance, or the maximum you want to aim for. Key things happening this week. So I'm expecting some medical results. I'm having problems with some financial things, which, hey, ain't we all? And I've got another hospital appointment to go to. Now, these are all fine. These are all just normal things. Not a problem. I just sometimes get a little bit overwhelmed when I've got more than one thing. Now, I think this is what was happening from the week before. I don't know, maybe someone can sort of relate to this, or maybe someone's been there and they know what I'm talking about, where nothing in itself is major, they're just normal life things. But sometimes when you're in your head and you tend to catastrophize everything and worry, even though you know it's going to be okay, it'll be what it'll be. I'm not in control. Those days are gone where I try and control everything. I give it all to God now, and that's absolutely true. But I've still got some of these old habits and patterns, which is what I want to get rid of. So I needed to be aware of those. So I used this page to put on there just these things that are happening. Now, that again, this for you, perhaps if you haven't used these pages before, these might be things like social events, these might be things like birthdays or holidays, especially at this time of year. So whatever it is, for me personally, it's these impactful things which make my mind tick, 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 It's also got a little bit of a body magic aim. Now that's really good. So you might not like to set a weight loss goal, but for me, weight loss goal and body magic goal. So I'm doing my couch to 5k. It's hard, it's difficult. I've got a lot of pain in my feet if I do too much. So I'm just doing it slow. If I need 2 or 3 rest days between, I will take them. I'm not going hell for leather into this again, which is where I can make a real mistake. I just go, do you know what? I've been a runner for ages. I'll just get back out there and I'll just start doing 10 miles at a time. No, don't do that, Leanne. So no, I'm not doing that. So just couch to 5k. I'm going to try and walk or bike to work. Walk the dogs, all those sorts of things. But what it's got on there, it's got some ideas of what you're going to do to stay on track, and it's got some suggestions of your own. So mine is deciding what my sins are going to be prior to having them, because I noticed something. If this helps someone, great. If it doesn't, skip forward. So I can go most of the day, maybe I've had 5 or 6 sins. Great. Fantastic. I say I'm not hungry. I'm full of this lovely free food. I'm enjoying lots of variety. I'm still making that effort to do that. But then when I get to that bingy emotional time, it starts with using up the remainder of those sins. Now, I am not giving a prescription for everybody here, but for me, I noticed this particular week that's where it would begin. So I would get to bedtime and go, I've still got 10 sins left, 7 sins left, whatever it may be. What can I have? What can I have? What can I have? And that was it. That was the beginning of, well, I'll have this and I'll have this. Now, luckily, I don't have huge stashes, as you saw from my grocery shop. There aren't stashes of loads of treats or high sin items or anything like that, because I can't do it. I can't have that stuff in the house, and that's a lifestyle choice any more than as an ex-smoker I would have a packet of 20 cigarettes sitting in the cupboard, just well, it's just there just to remind me that I can if I want to. No because if there's a moment of emotional weakness and there's a packet of cigarettes up there, I'm going to go for it, or it makes it infinitely harder to not go for it. And it's the same with the high sin foods. But the problem is, without recognising that I was beginning that sort of slippery binge eating moment, that bingy little thing, and I'm not saying that I was sitting there crying my eyes out or nothing like that. It's just it's an old ingrained food as comfort feeling for me. So my mum would always take us shopping and we get a little cake on the grocery shopping, and that would be that comfort thing when we got back, or if we were a bit sad, but shall we have a little treat together, stuff like that. It's just ingrained in me that food is a nice comfort. So with that, I will go to whatever I have, and an excess of healthy extras, such as, for me, porridge. I'm not going to not keep porridge because it's a staple food, and 9 times out of 10 I'm fine. I lost my half stone in the first 2 weeks, and I very much continue to intend to lose more, but I won't have the really tempting things, because if I had a pot of Ben and Jerry's vegan ice cream in my freezer just in case, because I can, you know what, I'm gonna. So I had several nights like that where, you know, just sort of starting with, well, I've still got these sins left, so I think I might just have that and have that and have that. So I've put on here that I'm going to plan my sins in. Now today, for example, my plan, and there's a lovely little bit here where you just sort of write down breakfast, lunch, dinner. I've filled out the first day because I knew what I was having today, and once I've finished chatting on here, I'm just going to sit down and write down 7 breakfast, lunches and dinners. Now you don't have to have them in that order, and that's fine. I'll just tick them off as I have each one, you know. But I planned in to have my hi-fi bar for 3 sins, which I've had. So that's it now. That's it. And what was really valuable about sharing this with the group, and I shared all of this with the other members in the group. The great thing is that they understood. I was in a room full of people who could empathise with how I felt, even if they hadn't been there themselves. They were understanding. It gave me a space to talk about what help I needed and what I'd been struggling with. And they were there jumping in with fantastic ideas, you know. Lots of like low sin treats and stuff like that. So I had, you know, like the idea of making my own Simply Icy Poles. There she is. There's the other one. Simply Icy Poles. Of squash, making sure they got the fruit chopped up, But the key member that just absolutely, like, is when this lovely lady said this idea to me, it was like a light bulb just went off in my head. I was like, yes, that is it. She suggested that I put something written out personal to me on the outside of one of my cupboards in the kitchen, because that's where I'm going. I'm grazing the kitchen, you know, I'm finding stuff, I'm looking round, that's where it begins. And I'll often stand in the kitchen and eat stuff because, you know, black hole kitchen, it's not black hole, that tip won't work. But she said, put something out on your cupboards that you can see as a reminder of the fact that, you know, you don't want to do this. So, you know, come up with something for me that makes sense and that hits the spot. And this wonderful lady, thank you, Donna, she said to me this, and it was just like something just went. Now, you might have heard me just mention that I used to smoke. It was a habit that I picked up again, or an addiction that I picked up again, after I'd been through my divorce. And it took so much to shake that off again. I went and got all the help I could from the Stop Smoking group locally. And the guy who ran that gave me this little postcard. And I put that up in my kitchen, and it had my why. It had my why. It was, I'm not smoking because my kids love me. I'm doing this for my kids. Now, for weight loss, I've got my own reasons, and I've talked about them. And I need to remember that. Because old habits are just old habits. I'm not particularly someone who's, you know, devastated by my little binges. I don't think there's any, you know, need for me to go to talk to anyone else. It's just a comforting habit I've gotten into that's not fantastic for maintaining a healthy weight. So just coming away from group with that, oh my goodness me, I felt like a whole ton had been lifted off me. I came away with a skip in my step. I was smiling. I had a game, and I was smiling and happy and looking forward to my week ahead. So, oh my goodness me, my top tip: stay to group no matter what. Talk to the other people in group. Here they go. Because they're the ones that are going to help you. And of course your consultant's there as well. She's got tools, he'll have tools that can help you out. And I was offered like food diary and that, and I was like, yeah, I don't need it, it's not what I need. I just need some of the other things that we talked about. So that was fantastic. I came away absolutely inspired. I'm aiming for that £3. I'm going to make sure that I do my plan. And also we talked a little bit about what am I going to do. So as well as seeing my little sign on the cupboard, if I feel that coming on, someone said doing perhaps some exercise or something. Now they tend to binge very, very late at night when I should be asleep. So I should be asleep. There's that other key thing, isn't it? I'm thinking as I'm talking here as well. I should be asleep. I am terrible for not getting enough sleep. So I need to go to bed, not to avoid having a life, because sitting up till 1 in the morning eating stuff I shouldn't be eating when I've got to be up for work at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, as I start quite early, it's not the one. So yeah, better sleep, that's a habit I can work on. I'm not going to get all these habits done all in 1 week. I'm going to just concentrate, you know, on what I can where I can. Yeah, so positive. I'm sorry I don't have a weight loss for you, but I do hope that something somewhere has helped someone. I know this is for me really to look back on, but absolutely, go to group, stay to group. We've all got habits. Don't be ashamed of them. My goodness me, we've got terrible habits, some of us. So don't be ashamed of your habits or your difficulties, things like that. We're all human. We're all trying to work our way through it. And yeah, get the help from the people that care, people that have been there. What else would I suggest before I disappear and leave you to it? 'Cause it's been a bit of a long one today. I found having a listen to the podcast. So if you're a Slimming World member, you'll have access to the website, the app. I went onto the app and I found some fantastic podcasts. I listened to a couple of them. One in particular was all about using like you're finding your why, which really resonated with me this week as well, and how to protect your weight loss and things. It was more geared towards when you had functions and things. Oh, we got some growling going on. They're playing. But it was a really great weight loss podcast. So that was fantastic. What I also find useful is they have members' success stories on there, and there's nothing more inspiring than a fantastic success story, and you must let it be inspiring. I understand sometimes people are, that'll never be me, that won't be me. Why not? Why not you? Yeah, your path might not be super fast. You might be a little bit around the houses like me. You might have a few more habits and things to shake off, a few more health problems. I've got some medications which I take, which increase hunger. So I know even when I'm hungry, it's not natural hunger a lot of the time. So yeah, you be inspired by people. Allow them to inspire you. There's a wonderful girl in group. She's lost 9 pounds in her first week. There's another lady, she's been a member for, was it 12 weeks now? And she's lost over a stone, but more importantly than that, she's lost consistently every single week, sometimes £0.5 pound, sometimes £2, but she's lost every single week. Inspiring. Another lady, the particular one that had given me the help and support, she's had birthdays to deal with, like weekends away, she's had holidays, she's had this, that and the other, all going on within the space of her first, 6 weeks, but she's dealt with them all and she's got her half stone award. So be inspired. These people are here, they're normal people like you and me. We are normal people in a group, so absolutely be inspired. What I could also suggest is there's a fantastic YouTuber now. Oh my goodness me, you guys have put me in touch down in the comments with some brilliant Slimming World YouTubers, so I'm going to go on there and get lots of glean some ideas off there and see what I can come up with to put into my plan of action. But also be inspired by other YouTubers. They don't have to be following Slimming World. So, for example, there is, I hope you can hear me over the shenanigans going on behind me there. So there's a YouTuber called Mark Lewis. I don't know how I can link channels. I do follow him on my channel. He's a fitness YouTuber. He has been overweight, so he does talk a bit about his transformation, but honestly, just do the grit, the determination. But he does talk a bit on there about his binge eating, and he's got some great advice, and he's ever so funny. And I always come away from his videos feeling really inspired, not to be Mark Lewis, but to just go ahead and go, yeah, let's get on with this. Let's be doing some things that are going to be moving me forward. So not a fantastic, I don't know how to edit this out. I'm just going to upload this video. Welcome to my house. Yeah, so guys, I know there's no weight loss here to report, but I cannot tell you how positive I feel about the next few weeks ahead. I'll keep learning. I will keep discovering things. I want to do some inches weight loss. I did measure my inches when I started, and I think with the running that I've been doing, the walking, the riding, the bike, I want to just look at that progress as well, because I've never really done that before. I've done clothes sizes, but I've never really done it. Which reminds me, one thing which I didn't say about height and weight is interesting. What does that translate to on clothes sizes? For me, I started off 5'1" and could fit into a size 16 if it was stretchy. My work trousers, which are not stretchy, they're just standard sort of polyester, whatever they are, work trousers, I can't even wear a 16. I can't get the zip anywhere near each other. I'd have to order an 18. So it gives you an idea there of where I begin. So I'm going to be sort of making more of a note of that. So anyway, I am going to let you go. I will work on learning how to edit things. We'll see. I will work on learning how to do that, sort of what you eat in a day or a week or whatever. And to be honest, I post a lot of stuff on my sort of stories and my TikToks, and whatever you eat in a day or a week, there's no magic formula. You just follow the plan. You make sure you fill up on free food, and you know, those fruits, those vegetables, bulk out your meals. But we'll do a sort of what my day could look like, just to give you an example. Yeah, we'll share below in the comments, and love you loads. Right, they've gone quiet. I'm gonna go. Bye.